When I was a child, I dreamed of the sky, never really wondering why. And when I was grown, I flew through the clouds, soaring into the great unknown. Above all rain and wind and stormy nights, our hearts are strong and unified. Above all sacrifices and endless nights, lift your head, look to the sky. 2, 3, 4. Weather by weather and shaken like stone, courage arises to fight for our home. Brothers and sisters, together we stand. The eye in the sky that guards our land. So get on your feet, feel the wind and soar. Spread out your wings, rise above all. Above all rain and wind and stormy nights, our hearts are strong and unified. Above all sacrifices and endless nights, lift your head, look to the sky. Above all rain and wind and stormy nights, our hearts are strong and unified. Above all hopes and dreams that will take flight, our souls as one will be alright. When times get weary, I won't be afraid. I am thankful that I can count on you. With strength and courage, you guide me too. I know we're stronger, together we'll make it through. Hold on, stay strong. We will face it day by day. We are with you all the way. Hold on, stay strong. We will face it day by day. We are with you all the way. When times get weary, I won't be afraid. I am thankful that I can count on you. With strength and courage, you guide me too. I know we're stronger, together we'll make it through. Hold on, stay strong. We will face it day by day. We are with you all the way. Hold on, stay strong. We will face it day by day. We are with you all the way. Hold on, stay strong. We will face it day by day. We boldest of sons, will you reach and carry the torches? The marks of the ones, a symbol to whom has created. Old was the road, those worries will worry us no more. Raising a glass, a toast to the past from our new shores. Isn't it a stranger feeling, having faith in what you don't know? But we've had some sacred healing. Now's a chance to be bold. We are the people. We've had the chance. We thank the fathers. Sons, make your stand. We have the power to show all we've had. We are the people. We'll make our stand. The moon and the stars will shatter the doubts from our fingers. With my hand in your hand, nothing can stand between us. Going your way, finding the love that surrounds you. Together we'll be sailing out into the deep blue. Isn't it a stranger feeling, having faith in what you don't know? But we've had some sacred healing. Now's our chance to be bold. We are the people. Chance. We thank the fathers. Sons, make your stand. We have the power to show all we've had.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is JK.
And my name is Kim.
We're both from Power 98 Love Songs and
Happy SAF Day, everyone!
We are your hosts for this evening's SAF Day Parade 2021, which will be coming to you live in a few minutes' time from the parade grounds of the SAFTI Military Institute.
That's right, and we're really glad to have your company on this significant day for the Singapore Armed Forces. Even in a challenging year like this, we continue to hold this celebration to commemorate SAF Day and reaffirm our pledge to defend the peace and security of the nation. SAF Day Parade 2021 also demonstrates the resilience and resolve of our servicemen and women to overcome challenges and continue protecting Singapore even amidst the COVID-19 pandemic.
In just a few minutes, you can watch the parade live from any of these platforms: MINDEF Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter page. The links to the broadcast are available on www.mindef.gov.sg/SAFDay 2021.
That's right. And as I was saying earlier, this is a very special day for all our servicemen and women. That's because 56 years ago, the Singapore Armed Forces was formed.
Every year on the 1st of July, the Singapore Armed Forces, comprising our Army, Air Force, and the Navy, commemorate, celebrate, and most importantly, reaffirm their dedication and commitment to protect Singapore with their lives.
Throughout the years, the SAF stands ready to protect and safeguard the peace and security of Singapore 24/7 without fail. In every step of our nation-building journey, the SAF has always been there for Singaporeans and given strength to the nation. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic, the SAF continues to maintain its operational readiness while implementing safe management measures to ensure that our service personnel are able to train and operate safely. The men and women of the SAF have also answered the call to support the whole of government efforts in the fight against COVID-19.
Well, that's right. The SAF has always been a part of our Singapore story, and every 1st of July is the day we come together to reaffirm our pledge to continue serving with our fullest commitment.
On that note, here's a special message from our Minister of Defence, Dr. Ng Eng Hen.
The rallying call for Singapore during this COVID-19 pandemic is to emerge stronger together. This invocation, this aspiration, was conceived and crafted in the early phases of our war against the virus. We could not have known that many more battles lay ahead. This biological opponent should not be underestimated. It is not going to give us victory so easily. It is able to adapt to our responses with countermeasures that weaken our defenses, with variant strains more infectious, stronger than the original. I use military terms because the COVID-19 pandemic teaches us lessons that are applicable for our national defense on this SAF Day. Just as we do against biological agents, we must constantly adjust to keep up with security threats. Standing still is moving backwards and bound for failure. Can the SAF emerge stronger from this pandemic? The way the SAF has responded during this crisis gives me assurance and confidence that it can. Let me cite a few examples, but there are many more. Each time the button was pushed, activated units have performed with flying colors. In January last year, about 1,500 servicemen from the Army's CSS Command worked tirelessly to pack over 5 million masks, which eventually reached more than 1 million households. NS men from 2nd and 8th Combat Support Hospital were activated as part of their in-camp training to take care of over 5,000 COVID-positive patients at the community care facility in Singapore Expo. For more than 2 months, they exposed themselves to the risk of infection, but held strong. At the end, they completed their mission successfully. They took care of recovering COVID-19 patients, and not one soldier in the unit got infected. I visited them and found their commitment and professionalism exemplary. Apart from the BMT that was postponed during last year's circuit breaker and some less essential ICTs deferred, other training and exercises within the SAF continued. The RSN participated in the multilateral exercise RIMPAC, as well as bilateral exercises with other navies. The RSAF deployed to Australia and the US for high-level exercises. Officer and specialist cadets continued their rigorous courses and graduated. Army units completed their ATAC evaluations and other training for active servicemen. All these high-intensity activities were completed without infections. Similarly, we have continued to upgrade SAF hardware during this pandemic. Our air defense system has been strengthened. The Army's new weapon locating radar and upgraded Bell-Rex mortar are operational, as are the RSN's unmanned surface vessels this year. Ultimately, resilience against any opposing force comes down to the tenacity of its people. The way SAF servicemen and women have responded to this pandemic gives me full confidence that indeed we have and will emerge stronger together against all threats. Happy SAF Day and Majulah Singapura.
For 56 years, you have watched us grow. From 1,000 men, 2 wooden boats and 2 leased aircraft to a modern and strong defense force.
We've always been there for you, at home and 1,000 miles abroad, in crisis and disaster, and in our everyday, standing against enemies known and unknown, physical and digital. You think you know our story? There is so much more. We are not defined by our tanks, our ships, our planes, but by our soldiers, our sailors, our airmen.
Every Singaporean son and daughter in green, grey and blue. Volunteers, employers, families, friends. You have all supported us. From generation to generation, the strength of our nation runs in our lifeblood. We are driven by our purpose, our courage, our love. Our purpose fuels our resolve to protect the ones we love, to secure our peace and way of life, to defend this place we call home. Our courage defies all odds, accomplishing our mission even when it seems impossible. Doing things right even when no one is watching, helping our friends through the most challenging of times.
Our love transcends all barriers. We serve unreservedly. We cover one another. We would give our lives if necessary to get the job done.
Every 1st of July, we remember our story. We reaffirm our commitment to our calling, to continue to grow, to give strength, and to always be there.
It's inspiring to see that sense of purpose in our servicemen and women who commit their lives in serving the nation and protecting Singapore's interests despite these unprecedented times.
It really is. So thank you to all the servicemen and women out there. #Hormat SAF.
You can see that spirit and dedication not only during their training and operations, but also in the preparation of this parade. In order to make this year's parade possible, the team commenced planning as early as 8 months ago, back in November of 2020.
A total of 10 rehearsals were conducted, with each rehearsal planned with the safety of participants in mind.
That's right. So here's a peek of what happened behind the scenes.
SAF Day Parade is an important event to reaffirm our pledge of loyalty to the SAF and the nation. This year's parade also demonstrates the resilience and confidence of the SAF as we emerge stronger from the pandemic. I'm deeply appreciative and humbled by the commitment and sacrifices of our servicemen and women during the preparation and rehearsals for the parade. This year is especially demanding. Not only we have to achieve the parade standards, we have to adhere to strict COVID safe management measures. It takes a lot of discipline and teamwork to ensure that the parade is well executed in a COVID safe manner.
Hi, my name is Captain Marcus and I'm the DY Contingency for the Command and Control Center for SAF Day Parade 2021. To ensure the safety and well-being of our parade participants this year, we also ensure that safe management measures are in place and that one of our roles is to coordinate and administer rostered routine testing, or RRT in short, for all participants. We also have in place plans to isolate and contact trace in the event of a positive COVID-19 case, and all participants to be vaccinated so that the parade can be safely organised and executed.
Hi, I'm Captain Poe and I'm the Contingent Commander for GH Navy for SAF Day Parade 21. So preparing for this year's parade is not as easy as we have to do it in adherence to COVID measures. Measures such as cohorting, safe distancing, wearing of masks during drills, training and rehearsals, and maintaining personal hygiene by using the hand sanitizers provided are all tough but necessary measures that we follow strictly. Not only do we need to go through our strict weekly RRT regimes, we are also vaccinated. It is not just to keep myself protected, but also protecting my buddies on parade. My guys and I feel that we can give our best, knowing that our safety and well-being are being taken care of.
Hi, my name is Lieutenant Alvin. I represent the ADF colours on this year's SAF Day Parade. These colours actually represent the unit in all their achievements that they have achieved throughout the years. At the initial start, when we started training, it takes a lot of effort for us to be in sync together, as well as marching. Our flag drills have to be perfect. When the flag goes down, it shows how much of pride we have in our unit when we did.
Hi, I'm Military Expert 2 Farhan and I'm a trombonist in the SAF band. During component training, the SAF band focused a lot on getting the sequence right. One interesting fact is that the drum major, he is the one that communicates between the band and that will signal us to either stop playing, start playing. The challenge is to actually have enough time to train together. It's easy to look good, it's easy to sound good, but it's actually not easy to look and sound good at the same time.
Hi, I'm Second Sergeant Omana. I'm from the Log and Finance team of SAFDP. As part of the logistics team, we do not only work on the rehearsal days, we work on the days where there are no training. So we need to put up indent for uniform, drill boot, face mask, disinfectants. Every small little thing that we do matters to the conduct of the SAF Day Parade.
My name is Clement and I'm from the Infrastructure and Decoration Committee. For our committee, we'll be focusing on two areas. One area is the setting up of decoration within SAFTI premises. Second is the technique display that we'll see in SAF Day Parade. Technique display this year, we have 6 military assets in total. As most of the assets weigh more than 2 tons, we need to overlay the parade square with wooden planks and we have to overlay it across the movement route of all the assets so as to protect the conditions of parade square. The journey towards SAF Day is definitely not an easy one. However, the experience of being part of the SAF Day allows us to experience and understand that the success of the task being given to us will contribute to the greater cause of the organization.
To my parade participants, trainers, and support staff who work tirelessly behind the scene. Regardless of your role, you are critical to the smooth conduct of every rehearsals. I salute all servicemen and women involved in the SAF Day Parade 2021. It is my honor and privilege to have walked this journey with you.
So Kim, did you see the colors contingent during the rehearsal?
Yes, and they were really impressive. By the way, did you know, way back in the early 17th century, on the battlefields, the military flags were simple banners of a single color, hence the term colors. They acted as a guide and rallying point for the soldiers. As long as the soldiers could see their flag flying, they knew all was well. Today, colors are no longer carried into battle. Instead, it's a form of identity, a symbol of the ethos that soldiers abide by. These colors have become the symbol for the spirit of the regiment. They represent the loyalty, honor, and pride of the men and women of the unit.
This year, 4 units will be conferred their colors as a mark of their achievements in the field of combat, training, administrative efficiency, and service to the nation. Earlier today, a ceremony was held to consecrate the colors of the SAF Ammunition Command, Supply Formation, Transport Formation, and Army Deployment Force. Let's take a look.
The ceremonial hall is the permanent home of the SAFTI colors. It is a solemn place where military traditions are observed and ceremonies performed. Today, in this ceremonial hall, we will be witnessing the consecration of 4 new colors, and it will be officiated by Brigadier General Terry Tan, Commander, Headquarters Combat Service and Support Command. The new colors will be consecrated by religious leaders before they are conferred by the President of Singapore later in the parade. Here come the drums brought in by members of the SAF band. They will pile up the drums so that they form an altar for the consecration. This is a long-held military tradition in honoring the colors. The 5 side drums will be piled in a circle with the insignia facing the religious leaders. The 4 new colors will then be draped on the drums. First up is SAF Ammunition Command, which comprises General Ammunition Base and Central Ammunition Base. It serves as a one-stop agency to support SAF ammunition requirements in training and operations. Next is the Supply Formation. The primary role of Supply Formation is to plan, command, and provide supply support and solutions to Army and joint units during peace and operations. Coming up is Transport Formation. With 4 active transport hubs and 3 NS transport battalions, it delivers integrated transport solutions for our Army and the SAF across a full spectrum of operations. Last but not least, the Army Deployment Force is an elite force of highly trained regulars on 24/7 operational manning to provide the Army with specialized capabilities in operations. The colors will now be blessed by the esteemed representatives of the religious faiths. They are respectfully invited to bless the colors. And this concludes the consecration of colors ceremony. That was the consecration of color ceremony that took place just this afternoon. Congratulations to our 4 units, and you will see them receiving the colors from our president during the parade. The parade will commence very soon.
Yes, let's go live to the parade ground now at SAFTI Military Institute.
You're watching live shots of the parade square right now. And if you love your mean machines, then you're in for a visual treat. In celebration of SAF Day Parade 2021, the SAF is showcasing 6 of its military platforms as part of the static display, which was brought in during the wee hours.
And if you've just logged into our show, a warm welcome to you. In just a few moments, the SAF Day Parade will start, and you're watching the parade live from the SAFTI Military Institute. This year's parade is organized by the Singapore Artillery Formation, the oldest formation in the SAF.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The parade will be commencing shortly. kindly switch all mobile devices to silent mode. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Singapore Armed Forces Day Parade 2021. Participating in this year's parade are 4 Guard of Honor contingents and the Singapore Armed Forces Band.
Here comes the parade's second in command to take up his position. The SAF Day Parade makes a comeback this year after a 1-year hiatus. Last year, an SAF ceremony was held instead in light of the COVID-19 situation then.
A COVID management committee was specially set up this year to ensure that COVID safe management measures were adhered to throughout the rehearsals and the parade preparation.
Kanan komandan, dari kiri, cepat jalan!
The SAF Band will now lead the regimental colors and the Guard of Honor contingents into the parade square. It's currently playing the Guard of Honor march tune. Very rousing. I feel like joining in the parade myself.
Me too. The Singapore Armed Forces Band is played at very important ceremonies such as SAF Day Parades, welcome ceremonies for visiting foreign dignitaries, change of command parades, and anniversary parades. It was formed in 1994 when the tri-service bands merged to become the premier band of the Singapore Armed Forces.
Behind the band, we have the 33 regimental colors. These are special flags with a very important function. In the past, these flags would be the symbol of the regiment and provide a strong motivational point for the soldiers to fight on. Today, the colors play a symbolic role. It embodies the unit's history, honor, and tradition. They promote cohesion and esprit de corps and instill in the men of the unit a sense of pride, honor, and loyalty.
And here we have 4 Guard of Honor contingents. The first Guard of Honor contingent is formed by the SAF Military Police Command. Falling behind is the second Guard of Honor contingent, formed by the best combat unit, 1st Commando Battalion.
Next up are the 3 state colors representing the Army, Navy, and the Air Force. Together with them is the HQ Supply and Transport Regimental color, which will be retired this year. They are accompanied by the Parade Regimental Sergeant Major. state colors is the 3rd Guard of Honor contingent, formed by the Naval Diving Unit.
And lastly, we have the 4th Guard of Honor contingent, formed by the airmen and women from the Air Power Generation Command.
Here we see the state and regimental colors taking up their final position.
Alright, komandan! Ke dalam laut! Terus! Kanan komandan! Pandan ke depan! Pandan! Kanan komandan! Hormat masing-masing! Hormat! Senjata! Baris! Rusuk! Senjata! Baris! Serang diri!
The parade second in command is Major Yo Wei Jie Gerald, S2 121 Squadron. The parade regimental sergeant major is Master Warrant Officer Tan Sun Ming, Brigade Sergeant Major 76 Singapore Infantry Brigade. The colors regimental sergeant major is First Warrant Officer Ang Chuan Lee Benjamin, Command Chief 9th Divisional Air Defense Artillery Battalion. The Singapore Armed Forces Band is led by Director of Music, Military Expert 4 Ignatius Wang.
Baris! Steady! Yeah!
We are now waiting for the parade commander to take his position on the parade square. And there he is, the parade commander, who will now take over from the parade second in command.
The parade second in command will be handing over the command to the parade commander.
And that's parade second in command, Major Yo Wei Jie Gerald, S2 Deputy Chief Planner 121 Squadron.
Baris! Senang diri!
The parade commander for this year's SAF Day Parade is Lieutenant Colonel Teo Wei Chi, Commanding Officer 16 Command, Control, Communications, Computers, and Intelligence Battalion. In every parade, the parade commander and the parade regimental sergeant major make sure everything goes as planned. How do they feel about this year's SAF Day Parade?
I'm Lieutenant Colonel Teo Wei Chi. I'm the commanding officer of 16 C4I Battalion. I'm responsible for making sure that all the men and women under my charge in this unit is ready and achieve the highest operational readiness for the defense of Singapore.
We celebrate SAF Day once a year. This is an honor for me. The SAF has continued to defend the nation, not just against threats, but also to fight against COVID. This parade is really to show that the SAF can continue to fight and work within restrictions brought forward by COVID-19.
I'm Master Warren Tan Soon Meng, Commando by vocation. I'm a directing staff in SAF Force Leadership School. We nurture and coach leaders towards high appointments.
I've been dreaming for this opportunity for the longest time. Personally, I feel very honored to be part of the parade, especially in such difficult times. It's not an easy thing, especially in this pandemic situation. Training together likewise, it is very difficult. Coming together to form this parade, it is something wonderful, and it's definitely part of the history.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of Chief of Defence Force Lieutenant General Melvin Ong, Chief of Army Major General Goh Si Hao, Chief of Air Force Major General Calvin Kong, and Chief of Navy Rear Admiral Aaron Bing.
For those of you who have just tuned in, you're watching the SAF Day Parade live at SAFTI Military Institute. And just arriving is the SAF leadership comprising of the Chief of Defence Force, Lieutenant General Melvin Ong, who took office in March 2018. His prior appointments include Chief of Army and Chief Guards Officer.
He is accompanied by the Chief of Army, Chief of Navy, and Chief of Air Force, who have just arrived at the parade ground.
호마 팡리마, 호마, 선자, 타! 바레스, 루소, 선자, 타!
Please be seated.
바레스, 선항대, 리!
We know that there are many servicemen and women around the globe watching this parade live this evening. We're so glad you could join us.
We want to wish each and every one of you a great SAF Day. Hope you're enjoying your day.
That's right, and some of you have sent us your greetings. Thank you for that. We've pulled some of them together. Let's take a look.
Hi everyone, I'm Mohat from Australia Detachment. Here wishing everyone to stay safe, stay strong and healthy. Happy SAF Day.
On behalf of the men and women from Peace Covering Fire Detachment in Mount Holm Air Force Base, United States, here's wishing everyone in SAF a happy and safe SAF Day.
Hi everyone, this is CORSS Stalwart from Naval Base Guam. Wishing everyone a happy SAF Day. Stay strong, stay safe, together we'll overcome.
Band is now playing My People, My Home, a national song featured in NDP 1995. This song is specially chosen for today's parade as it reminds us of what our forefathers went through to build a home for us.
We would like to thank all our servicemen and women for their contributions and sacrifices in keeping our country safe.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of Minister for Defence, Dr. Ng Eng Han.
바레스, 사대, here!
Minister for Defense, Dr. Ng Eng Hen, has arrived. This year marks Dr. Ng's 10th year as Minister for Defense and 20th year as an elected Member of Parliament. He previously held office as Minister for Manpower and Education.
Paris, Homan Mantri, Homan, Sanja, Ta. Paris, Russo, Sanja, Ta.
Please be seated.
Paris, Senang Day. Read.
Since 1967, NS has fulfilled a critical need in the nation's defense and security, providing the cornerstone for Singapore's peace and prosperity. National Service is today a national institution that continues to be a pillar of strength in the defense of our country.
As part of SAF Day Parade 2021, we would like to take this opportunity to shout out to all our national servicemen for their steadfast commitment and sacrifices towards the defense of the nation.
Because of you, we can say we stand proud and save the day. Though tough times may shake us, we will find a way. Because in you, we find the courage. In you, we find the strength. You can't be shaken. Your heart's someplace I know. In you, we find the courage. In you, we find the strength. These two ones have given their all to true to your heart, standing proud and tall, and let our heart be lost through the rain, the storm. You said the world, you're undefeated.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of Her Excellency Madam Halimah Yacob, President of the Republic of Singapore.
Paris, Sunday. Here.
And we are now seeing the arrival of our President, Madam Halimah Yacob.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm welcome to our President.
Madam President is greeted by Minister for Defense Dr. Ng Eng Hen and Chief of Defense Force Lieutenant General Melvin Ong.
Paris, Homan President. Homan, Sanja, Ta. Senjata!
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Madam President, the parade is formed up and ready for your inspection, ma'am.
This is a significant moment for our troops as the President inspects the Guard of Honor, recognizing the contributions made by servicemen and women on behalf of the nation. Sworn in on 14th September 2017, Her Excellency is Singapore's 8th President.
First up, the SAF Military Police Command, which upholds and enforces military law, order, and discipline in the SAF during peacetime and war. The formation carries out policing and security ops, as well as ceremonial functions for both MINDEF and the state.
Representing the Army contingent are the men from 1st Commando Battalion, who will be receiving the Best Combat Unit Award this year. Now, the commandos go through one of the toughest training regimes in the SAF. These soldiers are among the SAF's elite troopers, specially trained in airborne, reconnaissance, and raid missions. Representing the Navy are the members of the Naval Diving Unit. The Naval Diving Unit is responsible for all maritime special operations of the SAF, which include general diving, explosive ordnance disposal, and mine disposal.
Representing the Air Force are the airmen and women from the Air Power Generation Command. The command enables the Air Force to generate and sustain effective, timely, and robust air power to achieve the SAF's mission.
In a short while, we will be witnessing the SAF pledge-taking moment led by the Chief of Defence Force. Joining us are our national servicemen, employers and business leaders who will be coming together to recite the SAF pledge and reaffirm their commitment to the defence of our country. As part of the SAF Day celebrations, combined rededication ceremonies will be held across 6 locations, organized by Singapore Manufacturing Federation, Singapore Chinese Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Serbana Jurong, Association for Small and Medium Enterprises, Singapore Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Singapore Malay Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Servicemen and women from our overseas bases also join in the pledge-taking.
Thank you, Madam President.
Baris! Senang Day! Re!
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now recite the Singapore Armed Forces Pledge, which will be followed by the observance of 1 minute of silence. May we invite Chief of Defence Force, Chief of Army, Chief of Air Force, and Chief of Navy to the saluting dais.
Baris! Sadai! Here! Baris! Kali! Senjata!
Chief of Defence Force will now lead us in reciting the Singapore Armed Forces Pledge. Please rise.
Baris! Tak! Sati! Here!
We, members of the Singapore Armed Forces, do solemnly and sincerely pledge that we will always bear true faith and allegiance to the President and the Republic of Singapore. We will always support and defend the Constitution. We will preserve and protect the honor and independence of our country with our lives.
Baris! Sadi! Here! Baris! Kali! Senjata!
Madam President, ministers, ladies and gentlemen, over the years, precious sons and daughters of Singapore have lost their lives in the course of service in the SAF. We honor their service and sacrifice to the nation. Let us observe a minute of silence in remembrance of our comrades in arms.
Baris! Tunduk! Baris! Sadi! Here!
It's a very solemn and powerful moment whenever
Thank
the
you,
national
CDF,
anthem is
sir.
played and everyone stands to attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Baris! Senang day! Re!
Ladies and gentlemen, this year we will witness the retirement of Headquarters Supply and Transport Regimental Colours. The regimental colours will retire as it exits the parade square.
Baris! Sedih! Here! Baris! Hormat panci-panci! Hormat! Senjata!
The regimental colours for Headquarters Supply and Transport Formation was originally presented on 1st July 1995 by our former president, the late Mr. Ong Peng Cheong. Since then, the colours has been a symbol of pride, loyalty, and professionalism for the men and women of the Supply and Transport Formation. Following the establishment of the Combat Service Support Command in year 2006, both Supply and Transport Formations have also gone on to establish their own separate commands in order to better support our Army and the SAF. Having rallied both the sister formations for 26 years, the time has come for this Headquarters Supply and Transport Formation regimental colours to retire and make way for the arrival of two new regimental colours that will serve to rally both the Supply and Transport commands to greater heights.
Baris! Russo! Senjata! Baris! Senang day! Re!
Introduced in 1969, the Singapore Armed Forces Best Unit Competition is held annually to promote a competitive spirit amongst units. Units are judged in areas such as combat efficiency, marksmanship, security, human resource, and logistical matters. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now invite the President to present the Singapore Armed Forces colours to the Best Combat Unit. Madam President, please.
The best combat unit is 1st Commando Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Koo Kai Siong.
This will be the 18th consecutive year that the 1st Commando Battalion clinches the SAF's overall Best Combat Unit.
1st Commando Battalion has won 35 times since the SAF Best Unit competition was introduced back in 1969.
Colours are awarded to units in recognition of its achievements in the fields of combat, training, administrative efficiency, and service to community. The colours also promotes unit cohesion, esprit de corps, and instill in the men and women of a unit a sense of pride and loyalty.
In this year's Singapore Armed Forces Day Parade, 4 new regimental colours will be presented. The regimental colours had been consecrated at the ceremonial hall earlier this afternoon. The President will now present the new regimental colours.
Headquarters Singapore Armed Forces Ammunition Command receiving the regimental colours is Commander Singapore Armed Forces Ammunition Command, Military Expert 7, Liu Hin Ban. SAFEC's regimental colours bears a white background, symbolising a sense of order and efficiency in ammunition operations. The SAFEC logo consists of a shield, and the centre of the logo is a flame insignia.
Headquarters Supply receiving the regimental colours is Chief Supply Officer Colonel Alex Wang Jin Rong. The red background in the supply regimental colours symbolises camaraderie and esprit de corps within the formation. The supply and transport formations share the same album. Located in the centre of the colours are the bayonet and the gear, which is the symbol of army logistics.
Headquarters Transport receiving the regimental colours is Chief Transport Officer Colonel Chow Wing Cheong. The bayonet in flame orange colours represents perseverance and robustness. The gear embodies the aspiration to enhance mobility in the provision of supplies to the Army.
Army Deployment Force receiving the regimental colours is Commander Army Deployment Force Senior Lieutenant Colonel Chua Yu-en Edwin. ADS regimental colours bear a black background, symbolising the strength and power of a unit always ready to act at a moment's notice. The ADF logo consists of a golden prism encompassing a bayonet. Thank you, Madam President.
Ladies and gentlemen, the parade will now pay compliments to the SAF colours. Please rise.
Baris! Steady! Here! Baris! Hormat, punchy, punchy! Hormat! Sanja! Ta! Baris! Russo! Sanja! Ta!
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
Madam President, may I have your permission to march off the parade? Ma'am.
Baris akan berjalan keluar dalam masa cepat. Bergerak ke kanan. Ke kanan pusing.
The Colors Party will now form up back into the contingent and meet the parade in the march past. As the Colors Party, these men are actually part of a long tradition that dates back to the early 17th century. Today, the colors remain symbols in modern armed forces to promote cohesion and camaraderie and instill a sense of pride and loyalty in the unit.
Party, led by the state colors, is now forming up for the traditional march past, together with the 4 Guard of Honor contingents. Colors are awarded for achievements in the fields of combat, training, administration, efficiency, and service to the community.
Cepat jalan!
Featured in this evening's parade are 4 Guard of Honor contingents and the Singapore Armed Forces Band. Formations from all 3 services are represented in the parade. Please rise as the colours pass your immediate front. All military personnel in uniform are to salute the colours.
Ladies and gentlemen, leading the parade in the march past is Parade Commander Lieutenant Colonel Teo Wei Chi. Marching behind the 3 state colors is the Parade Regimental Sergeant Major, Master Warrant Officer Tan Sun Ming. Behind the regimental colors is the colors Regimental Sergeant Major, First Warrant Officer Ang Chuan Lee Benjamin.
second Guard of Honor contingent are personnel from the Singapore Armed Forces Military Police Command led by Captain Kor Tee Seong.
The 2nd Guard of Honor contingent is formed by the Best Combat Unit, 1st Commando Battalion, led by Captain To Jin Chiang.
The next Guard of Honor contingent is formed by personnel from the Naval Diving Unit, Republic of Singapore Navy, led by Captain Teo Po Wei.
The 4th Guard of Honor contingent is from the Air Force, led by Captain Ang Swee Cheong James, and bringing up the rear is the Parade Second in Command, Major Yo Wei Jie Gerald.
Ladies and gentlemen, leading the Singapore Armed Forces Band for the March Past is the Drum Major, Military Expert 2 Chua King Hui. On his left is the Band Major, Military Expert 3 Chew Boon Hui. And on his right is the Director of Music, Military Expert 4 Ignatius Wang.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the Singapore Armed Forces Day Parade 2021. Please rise as Her Excellency Madam President takes her leave.
I'm sure all the men and women on parade today feel a great sense of pride and achievement. What a proud moment it must have been for them. As Her Excellency Madam President takes her leave, we have come to the end of the Singapore Armed Forces Day Parade 2021.
We hope you've enjoyed our programs as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. On behalf of our production team, thank you for your company today. I'm Kim.
And I'm JK. We're from Power 98 Love Songs. Signing out.
Happy SAF Day!
We are deeply honored to win the Best Combat Unit Award, to build a strong, high-performing unit. Leadership is key to inspire this unity of purpose, instilling a strong sense of stewardship in all our soldiers. Every one of them know that they are empowered with the ability to foster a legacy. This strong, high-performing culture allows us to sustainably encourage our soldiers to give their best.
As the elite fighting force, we cannot take success for granted. We must constantly be on our toes and constantly strive to improve year on year. Today, it is a recognition on the unit, on the efforts and the hard work that everyone has put in to achieve a common goal of protecting the nation to the best of our ability.
I'm extremely proud to be part of the team that won this award. We've upheld the legacy set by our seniors. We've also enhanced the recognition of the Red Beret as a symbol of excellence.
All of my crew know that what we do is important. We are critical to ensuring that Singapore's waters remain safe and trade can continue to flow. We are very honoured to have won this award, but at the same time, there are 7 other ships who put in the same sacrifice, the same commitment, the same time to train. They are all great, and it's one whole flotilla who continues to defend the nation every day.
Because we are a 24/7 unit, we always ensure that the guys are trained and ready, and always maintain a high standard of safety so that the ships are ready and available to sail out for any mission task.
Even though Fortitude won the Best Masec Unit Award, to me the Best Unit competition is an overall win for Singapore because all the units are at the top of their game and are operationally ready 24/7 to defend Singapore.
For us to get this award 2 years ago, it's a validation to all the hard work of the entire squadron they have put together, not just myself, but this includes every personnel.
143 is a critical operational unit, and there are some measures that need to be taken to ensure that this operational readiness that we hold in very high regard is not compromised. This will entail us spending some time away from our families to maintain and continue to train to a high level of readiness during the circuit breaker period last year. And I'm really very, very thankful, not just for my own family, but for the servicemen's families. They really understood what was the key value that we had to execute our duties.
So every year the competition is quite fierce, and therefore I feel that our efforts have paid off, and I would view this award as an encouragement to work harder in my daily work.
The important thing about us moving forward is really not to rest on our laurels, and we need to remain focused on in the pursuit of excellence to train safely, effectively, in order to fulfill our sacred mandate and our duty of defending Singapore's skies.